Hello, my name is Kiran. Recently, we have seen the outbreak of COVID cases within India, and whilst these COVID cases are going on, we have seen how the immediate attention has been diverted to the coronavirus pandemic that is going on in India. However, whilst this coronavirus pandemic is going on in India, it's important that we remember our Kisans that are sitting at the borders of Delhi. Today, it has been nearly 159 days. It has been 159 days since the Kisans have been sitting at the borders of Delhi. Throughout the protests, we have seen how people globally have stood in solidarity with the Kisans that are sitting at the borders of Delhi for their rights. So it's important that, of course, even though we are outside of the UK, we support our Kisans and we do whatever we can in favour for the bills to be taken back. So today we are going to speak with a person who has organised a protest outside the Indian High Commission. This is going to be happening on the 8th of May, which is next week Saturday. It's an overnight sleep out, and we're going to speak to him today just to have a bit more information about what's going on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add him into the live.
Hello, hi, how are you?
Hi Kieran, thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm good too. How's your day been?
Yeah, good. Just doing a bit of work this morning. How about yourself?
Okay, I'm also good. So do you want to start off by just introducing yourself, telling us a bit about your name and what you do?
Yeah, so my name's Dilji. I'm from a town called Chesterfield, but I currently live and work in London. I'm a lot in London. Been involved in various movements on issues that I care about, and farmers' protest is sort of the latest in that.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, so if you don't mind, of course you've seen that you're organising the sleep out, the Kisan Sleep Out that's happening outside the Indian High Commission. What is your relation to India, to Punjab, to the farmers? Do you have any family that's in Punjab or India, anything?
Yeah, so I'm Punjabi. My grandparents came here as farmers back in the 60s. My mum came here from Punjab when she was around 12 years old. So she came and she came on her own. So her parents and her siblings stayed there. So we still have cousins and friends in Punjab. My cousins have been at the protest sites on occasion. So yeah, there is the connection there still with Punjab.
Oh, okay. So do you currently have any family that's in India?
Yeah. So my cousins are there. My mum was there. On my mother's side, we do have still quite a bit of family there.
Okay. Do you go to Punjab often?
Usually every year we go. We do Langar for our bend around end of May, start of June time.
Oh, okay, that's
so nice. It's nice and hot. That's really
yeah. Okay, so if we go towards the Kisan protest that's going on, so I want to start off by asking you, what is your understanding of the farmers' protest at this moment?
Yeah, so obviously it's been going on, as you say, 159 days now. I think when we talk about the farmers' protest, we need to discuss sort of the context of what's happened before the bills.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, the farmers' protest is about 3 agricultural bills that were passed without consultation last year.
Yeah.
But there's a massive amount of history, pain, background and context to this from before the bills.
Yeah.
So a lot of this relates specifically to the Sikh community, but the farmers' protest is obviously not just a Sikh
for everyone.
Yeah. So I'm not going to focus on that, but one of the main points of context that apply to farmers as a whole, and probably one of the biggest points, is farm worker suicide. So I think the statistics in India for farm workers, or I think 60 to 70% of people depend on farming or agriculture for their livelihood in India.
Yeah, that's right. Like we see how many farmers have to take debts to actually, of course, fertilize the crops. There's loads of stuff behind it. There's debts they have to take. People commit suicide. There's so much pain behind how a farmer actually earns, his money. And then, of course, for these bills to be passed, we know that one of the bills announced that there's no MSP to the actual crops, is there? So it's quite disheartening for them, because they have to actually, originally they take debts to actually complete the harvest.
Yeah.
So, of course, going forward, if we talk about your feelings towards the situation, as you mentioned earlier, you have family that are actually in India, and of course, how does it feel towards you? The way I see it, I have family in India. Of course, we proudly say here, sitting abroad, we're Punjabi, we come from here, we come from there. But in my own opinion, it's as if our identity has been taken away from us, because of course, if there's no MSP, it's eventually going to come to the point where farmers do genuinely become slaves to the country, as they have no MSP, they have no money, they have nothing to back them. So I'd like to know what your feelings are. Of course, being abroad, you're a lawyer, you're quite well educated, you come from an educated background. What is your feelings towards this whole situation?
So what I would say is, first and foremost, like, everyone deserves a fair return for their hard work.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially the people that feed the world.
Yeah.
I think what happens at times is governments forget that they work for the people.
Yeah.
Even the money that they spend, it's the people's money, and it should be spent on the people.
Yeah.
So, as we said, like 60 to 70% of people in India depend on agriculture for their living.
Yeah.
So, when you look at what the bills do, it doesn't seem like they are working for the people with the introduction of these bills.
It's not really working. You could say it's not working alongside the farmers, because of course the way they were passed as well, we know there was not much of farmers. There wasn't really any farmers consultation, or nothing was there, if we see it. And of course, there's normally a TV channel, Raja Sahib. I believe it's a TV channel, but that's somewhere that, of course, whatever's going on in Parliament, as here in the UK, we have the Parliament TV. Of course, we know what's going on in Parliament, but whilst these bills are being passed, that was actually muted, weren't they?
Yeah. So I mean, it's partly the fact that we question why is this been brought into place during the pandemic as well?
Yeah.
So they can easily. I mean, the government do there. They say, oh, you shouldn't be protesting during the pandemic. I mean, they're holding election rallies.
Yeah.
And we can't let the pandemic, obviously we all have a public health responsibility here.
100%.
The last thing we want is outbreaks in our own communities.
Yeah.
But you can't not stand up to oppression just because there's a pandemic. We have to do our best to stay COVID safe.
Yeah, that also, if I stop you right there, that also involves my next question. What is your thoughts on the farmers' protest during the global pandemic? So as COVID is going on, we've seen recently how, of course, COVID has spread throughout all of India, and the farmers, they're still sitting, protesting, which is, in my opinion, they should absolutely be doing. But what's your thoughts on the farmers protesting during the global pandemic? How can it affect them health-wise in the future? What's your opinions on overall?
Yeah, so it is a tricky one, and as I say, we all have public health responsibility. But I think if you look at it from the farmer's perspective, if coronavirus doesn't kill them, their mindset is these bills will. These bills are livelihood. So the pandemic has to be put to one side when you look at that. And we have to stay COVID safe. But if we can't protest during a pandemic, then that allows the people in power to effectively do whatever they want without consequence, without accountability, and without hearing the voice of the people.
Yeah.
We can't have the pandemic stopping us fighting depression. We just have to take the right precautions. And obviously we want our Kisan to be safe. And when we do the sleep out, we want everyone to be safe. But a lot of these issues that we see in the world were there before the pandemic, and they'll still be there after, when the pandemic's gone.
Yeah. Okay, so going towards the next question, of course, you're someone that has attended the protests that have happened in the UK previously. I just wanted to know your opinion on the youth's contribution towards this farmers' protest, of course, through social media, attending the protest. What's your overall opinion? Also, of course, you're organising the Sleep Out rally. That's very, very good, because you come under part of the youth. So that's also very, very, very good to see that you're participating as much as you can. But if you look outside yourself and worldwide, what do you think? How do you feel about the youth's contribution towards the farmers' protest?
Yeah, so I think the youth as a whole, we have a huge responsibility here on this. Yeah, we're not in India right now.
Yeah,
but we still have that responsibility to amplify the message and what's happening there. We are a social media generation, as you say.
Yeah,
and part of that responsibility is using our social media platform to amplify. There's no way that Rihanna would have tweeted about this if we weren't also using our social media platforms to post and shed a light on this.
Yeah.
We have to also remember, and young people need to remember, that social media is not enough. Activism has to extend beyond that, beyond sharing a post on Instagram. You've got to go out and fight for it.
Yeah, that's it. They say there's not you can't do much if you're just sitting in one place and not doing much, can you? Social media does have an impact in today's day, but social media only has an impact up until a certain extent. There's more that you have to do beyond that extent to get where you actually would like to get.
No, I agree. We all have different skills, talents, and resources for this movement. So, I mean, it can be anything. Your time, your money. It might just be your social media post, depending what your life is like. Look at our brother Inquisitive. He's using his art to raise up the farmers' voices. We've seen singers write songs. So my message to other young people is use the tools that you have at your disposal. We all have something unique to offer here. We all have something unique to offer.
Yeah, so that's very, very good. So, of course, moving forward, as you've spoken about the farmers' protest and how important this is, and how, of course, how people have been involved, and we've spoken about how you feel about this farmers' protest. So, if we go towards the Kisan Sleep Out in London, so of course, before we talk about the details of it, where did this idea come from? Sleeping outside the Indian High Commission.
So first of all, I mean, it wasn't technically my idea. So it's something I've been thinking about for a while. So I think probably like other people in the community, I haven't really slept since the Kisan went to Delhi. Subconsciously, that's probably because, like, how can I sleep in my bed when they're not in theirs?
Yeah, 100%, you're correct, yeah.
And then I saw that Vancouver organised Kisan Sleep Out, and they've done a couple. They had one on Friday, so just a couple of days ago, they had their own, I think it was their third sleep out that they've held. And I've been a bit frustrated at the fact that you can see the downward trend on how much people are posting about this on social media. I think maybe in the UK, people are going back to their normal lives with things opening up, and they're forgetting about it. The farmers are still there, and the longer they're there, the more energy, support and heart we got to give this mortgage. So what I did is I got in touch with the people who organised the Vancouver Sleep Out for advice, and you know, we're united across the world in all of this. They've been a massive help in terms of advice and support, and being able to get this off the ground in the UK.
Yeah, that's very, very good. Okay, so of course you've spoken about where this idea has come from. Of course, you've seen that in Vancouver, in other places, people are doing as much as they can to stand in solidarity with the farmers. So who's organised the Sleep Out here in the UK? Is it just yourself, or is there other people that have helped you out? Who's organised this?
Yeah, so I've had support. I think the way it started, as I say, I got the advice from the people who organised the Vancouver one, then picked it up with the council to get this moving, get the wheels in motion. And then I posted, I mean, I was prepared to do this, me and a few mates outside the High Commission. It's great, obviously more people still care about this issue. So when I posted about it, it went around the houses on a bit on social media, and other people have been involved, and we've had people message to say, can we support you? And Nishkam Swap, they're doing the seva, providing food and drink and medical care on the night. It's been a good response from the community. People still care about this.
That's good. It kind of makes you feel good as well when other people do support you, and it encourages you to go a bit more further, doesn't it? Of course. Yes. Okay, so if you talk about who can actually take part in this Kisan Sleep Out that's happening?
Right, so it's taking place outside the High Commission on Saturday the 8th of May, overnight. What I will say is it's very different to the previous rallies. For starters, this isn't a rally. It's a peaceful sleep out. So we're trying to replicate the environment and energy of the farmers sleeping out outside Delhi. So it's going to be a much more intimate form of protest than the rallies. There won't be lots of people. We're planning on having some kirtan, a few speakers, we'll have food and tea, and then we'll settle in for the night sleeping. Obviously, I mean, people who are sleeping out are predominantly young people, because, you know, it's going to be a cold night. We don't know what the weather's going to be like.
It could be raining, anything with the British weather. We never know what's going to happen.
In terms of people getting involved, I think people are welcome to come and show their support through the kirtan and speaker parts between 6 and 9 p.m. Come have some food, tea. For the sleep out, you have to have a ticket to join us.
Okay, So is it all right for people, while sleep out, of course, is it all right for people just to come there, you know, pay their respects, of course, you know, so they can come and go, but outside the High Commission, only 50 people can sleep outside,
So, well, we've done a ticketing system on Eventbrite, and we have 15 left. So, and there are other ways that people can support if they can't get a ticket. So we've suggested sleeping out at home, sending us the pictures, and we'll repost them. If we got 50 people sleeping outside the High Commission on this Saturday night, and everyone doing it in solidarity, I mean, that's a huge support for the farmers that are in Delhi. What I will say though, this has been a very organised sort of sleep out to show support. So I want to emphasise, it's young people sleeping out for our elders. It's not a rally. It's not something where the plan is to make a lot of noise, and we don't want any negativity. We want to stay in Jagdi Kala. Organised speakers will be the only ones who will speak. So you're welcome. People are welcome to come 6 till 9, listen to that, listen to the kirtan. But we don't want people bringing megaphones trying to push their own agendas and other messages.
Of course, this is just basically this, of course, sleep out's happening. It's just for the farmers, so just to stand in solidarity with them, with the elders, isn't it? So so you'd like to keep them all, of course, throughout the sleep out. You just want to keep that as the main focus of the whole, the sleep out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our only focus. That's our only message. The issues you have, and we all have opinions on these other things, and they will use whatever tricks they can to discredit our movement.
Yeah.
We can't give them that opportunity. Here on the Saturday night, we are focused on the farmers. That's it.
Yeah.
That's our only motive. That's our only agenda. And if there are groups that come with another agenda, another motive, we will have to ask them to leave.
Okay, that's fine. So, of course, we've spoken about that the Kisan Sleep Out is happening outside the Indian High Commission. However, of course, is there any meeting points, or is it everyone just meets outside outside the Indian High Commission? And of course, as you said before, that there's going to be other people, there's going to be a stage where people are going to be speaking. So where is this all? Is it literally just outside the Indian High Commission, or is there another meeting point?
Yeah, so we've had a bit of a tricky one with the police and getting this off the ground. So on the side road where the Indian High Commission is, that's all going to be barricaded off.
Yeah.
So I need to email the police, and I'll send an email once to the people who've got the tickets in terms of like where we need to be and congregate. The current plan is, and this is subject to change, there's no stage, we're not allowed to put up temporary structures, so we can't have tents as well. So we will be sleeping bags on the floor. Opposite the High Commission on the other side of the road is Aldwych Theatre. I think maybe we'll speaker with a microphone, and we'll have the bard playing through that speaker, and that will probably be the point of congregation. But as I say, there won't be thousands of people there. There will be an intimate protest. So please do apply for your tickets if you want them.
Okay, that's fine. So I just wanted to clarify one thing. So of course, only 50 people can sleep outside, but is it okay if people just generally pass along, come in, have a look at everyone, just to pay their respect that you guys are actually sleeping out? It's a very good thing. Is that okay for people just to come along, have a look, and of course speak to you guys? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Please bring your signs. Please come, show your support. And you're more than welcome. Yeah, that would be great. People could come and show their support between 6 and 9. They can eat. We're there for everyone.
Okay. Then, of course, let's speak about, of course, we know it's happening next week, Saturday, on the 8th of May. So how, of course, because it's a of course, you guys are sleeping outside the Indian High Commission. So what time is this starting and what time is it ending?
Between 6 and 7 is probably when we do the Geetan, and then around 7 till 8 we're going to have the speakers. 8 till 9 people can go gather their food, their tea, their drinks, and then we'll sort of be setting up to sleep for the night. And we will be up and out very early, 6 a.m. tomorrow, the next morning.
Yeah, okay, so that's very good. Yeah, okay. So that's very good. Of course, as you guys have organised, this is an opportunity for the youngsters now to, of course, stand up. If they support the farmers' protest, now's the time to come forward, support the Kisan Sleep Out that's happening. I just wanted to ask you, is there any message you'd like to give to the youngsters? Why is it important that people come to this protest? Why, of course, this sleep out's happening. Some people might say, oh, it's happening in India, we're all the way in the UK. Why is it important that people here, we actually stand in solidarity with the farmers?
Yes, I got asked this question by a friend of mine right at the start of this project, and he didn't see why what we could be doing here would make a difference in terms of social media posts, in terms of going to protests. And I disagreed with him on that for 2 reasons. So number one, the world that we live in now, so globalized, if we're doing this, they will see it. They will see it in Delhi. They'll see that they've got our support. They will see that we've got their backs, and that means a lot for them. I was watching a live between the Vancouver Sleep Out and Dr. Swayman, who's in Delhi. And they are taking notice of what they were doing in Vancouver, and they will be taking notice of what we're doing in London. So that support is massive. When they've been away from their homes for 5 months now, and they've got the support of the people around the world. That's a massive.
Of course. Yeah, you're right. So, of course, if you talk about it, as I said at the start of the live, it's 159 days. It may be 160, but from my knowledge, it's 159 days since they've been on the borders of Delhi. You could say, of course, spending 159 days outside, sleeping in the cold, it's not easy. They've seen different weather. They've been through.
It's hot. We've faced all weathers, haven't they?
They faced all weathers, of course, and of course they see that we're basically their children. If we look at it, we're their children. If they see that our children outside of India, that are, in different countries, they're supporting us, you could say it gives them that encouragement to go further to carry on, doesn't it?
Something.
Yeah, they will have to. You would say, of course. Big respect to you for actually, organizing this, coming with the whole concept. It's not easy. There's a lot of planning, thought, and everything goes behind this. And it's very nice to see another member of the youth, that actually does care about the farmers' protest. Because we do see our youth, they do care about it, but it's like, in my opinion, it's like they speak about it up until a certain extent. This is something that should be remembered every day. We shouldn't forget it, and we should do whatever we can to stand in solidarity with them. So, of course, in the end, I would want to say a big thank you for coming live with us, and of course, organizing this whole. Yeah, and thank you for organising this Kisan Sleep Out, because it's a good recognition for our youth. Of course, our youth know that there is other members of the youth that do care about it, and maybe, one way or another, they will see it as if something they should do as well. They need to participate. And thank you so much for coming live with us today. And of course, good luck with the Kisan Sleep Out. I will try my best to attend as well. And of course, I do genuinely request from the bottom of my heart, anyone that's watching this live, if you can attend the Kisan Sleep Out, show support, show love, anything you can do. If you can go there, please definitely get there.
Thank you. Can I also say, anyone who does come, we need to remain COVID safe. So wear your masks. We don't want outbreaks in our own community.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for coming live with us today. And that's it. And it was nice speaking to you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay. Thank you. Take care. Bye.